I am going to be inviting Pro-Duce and Chr0niac into this stream, and I'm just going to ask them some questions. We're going to get to know them. I just want you guys to all know each other, and I wanted to take a moment to highlight them and understand their story. I have not actually ever met them in person or talked to them face to face until this moment. It's come to my attention that Pro-Duce is actually a duo from Los Angeles. Let's welcome Chr0niac and Pro-Duce. How you guys doing?
Doing good, man.
No
Excited
doubt.
to be here.
No doubt. Welcome everybody in the chat. Welcome Chr0niac and Pro-Duce right now to the stream. Chr0niac won round 1 and Pro-Duce won round 2. And they are going to be going head to head in the final round on the YouSound app. It's going to be crazy. So welcome, guys. I have a few questions. I just wanted to introduce you guys to the community and just learn more about you. This is our first time ever meeting in person. It's dope to have you guys on the stream. Thank you. Chr0niac, let's start with you. So let me ask you a couple questions. What got you into music originally?
My first inspiration, honestly, was my dad. He was a gigging keyboard player. When he moved from Pakistan to the US, like that was his way of making money. Started on harmonium back home and he just gigged around playing keyboard. And when I grew up, seeing him with his band and gigging and stuff, I really wanted to get into playing music, so I picked up a guitar. But it's been a long journey from picking up the guitar to then some brass instruments, and then finally coming around to producing over the past few years.
Wow, that's dope. That's what's up.
Thank you.
Pro-Duce, what got you guys into music, and how did you guys meet and come together?
We have like pretty different backstories when it comes to music. I grew up in like a house with just like instruments I was laying around, ended up teaching myself to play guitar, piano, drums like that. And then we both went to UCLA and met after we graduated last spring. So we've been together for like 6 months, but we each have been producing for like 4 years each.
I just got into music. My dad used to DJ a bit, and I grew up more on electronic music, but have come into a bunch of different genres as of lately.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Pro-Duce, what are some of your biggest inspirations?
We both started in electronic music, so people like Rufus, Weathen, people like that. I don't know, just all sorts of electronic music, but we both enjoy like indie, pop, rap, all that. So we're kind of fusing all of that together in our sound, which has been fun.
That's what's up. That's what's up. What about you, Chr0niac? What are some of your biggest inspirations?
So since I started like on the guitar with my musical journey, I listened to a lot of prog rock and math rock, like Sean, Polyphia, groups like that. But I really, really love hip hop, obviously. So Monty Booker, Flying Lotus. I love your stuff, obviously. So I guess like that's pretty good roundup.
That's what's up. Chr0niac, what DAW are you using to produce?
I've been Ableton since day one. I really don't know my way around anything else.
How about you guys, Pro-Duce? What DAW are you guys working in?
Yeah, so we're in Ableton now. I started in Logic, and then when we linked up, we needed to use the same thing. So I picked up Ableton, and now we're big Ableton guys. Excited for the update coming out.
All you guys are in Ableton. Are you guys going to cop 11 when it drops?
Definitely.
That's what's up.
I'm going to wait for a minute.
True. Pro-Duce, what are your top 3 plugins?
Soothe, probably. Saturn.
We love
RC20.
We love
obviously.
RC20. We'll slap that on anything to get a little
Pro
bit of
MD.
character.
Good choices. I love those plugins too. What about you, Chr0niac? What are your top 3 plugins?
I really dig the Good Hurt stuff. So Trem Control, I think that one's pretty underrated. The Wolf compressor. I mean, I guess I'm going to have to go with RC20. Like, when do I not use it? So
Hell yeah. Talking about the Wolf compressor, I've noticed that if your mix sounds too bright or there's too much top end or just doesn't quite glue together, sometimes just throwing the Wolf on the master can just tone down the whole thing. Underrated gem. Chr0niac, let me ask you a question. So what is your biggest challenge as a producer?
Definitely time. That's where my name comes from. Like Chronos is time and Iak is afflicted by. So I would say like I'm the type of person that takes forever with productions, whether it's a beat or it's like a whole instrumental for a different genre. Like if I'm being honest, even with this contest, I got 4 measures so far. That's all I got. It takes me a minute to come up with stuff. So that's my biggest challenge.
I feel that. I can relate to that sometimes too. Sometimes it comes quickly and fast, but a lot of times I find myself just spending a lot of time on production. I feel like production-wise, it's not such a bad thing to take your time on stuff. I do understand how it can be a challenge in today's world when we're so busy and lacking time. So I totally feel that. I respect that. Pro-Duce, what about you guys? What are your biggest challenges each in terms of being a producer?
I think like one thing for us recently is just being like hypercritical of your stuff. We definitely like have progressed like an enormous amount in the past 6 months, production wise, mixing wise. And so it's like we're at this new level now where like our mixes are really sounding tight, but then like we're still always like comparing it to someone else's mix and being like, oh, like how do we get there? And so you want to like finish songs, but like make them the best possible. At like end of the day, you have to like just call it on some songs, move on, and just like continue progressing.
Absolutely. I'm sure that's relatable to a lot of people in here right now. How many of you guys can relate to sometimes music taking a while and other times, you know, comparing yourself to other producers and other music out there? I mean, I know for myself, I can totally relate to that. And it comes in waves, right? Like sometimes you're like, yo, this is the hottest thing ever. And other times you're like, man, I suck. It's just kind of the way it is, man. Thank you for that, Pro-Duce. Pro-Duce, let me ask you individually or together, what are you guys' goals as producers or as a duo?
So we have our own project, which is kind of like what we made for the first round, just kind of like soul, funk-inspired electronic dance music. But we also produce for like a lot of pop projects and R&B projects, and we're into that for sure, and it's fun. But we definitely would like to see like our own project take off a bit. And we both really enjoy playing live music, just DJing. So we'd love to, you know, start playing some venues and get our name out there a bit more when it comes to that stuff.
Dope. Chr0niac, what about you? What are your goals as a producer?
I think, honestly, I'm really inspired by your approach where you have, you know, a platform for education, also working with artists. I think education has always been something that's super important to me. Currently a supervisor at the core music tutoring department at Berkeley. I do private lessons for guitar and keyboard and production and stuff. So hoping to like launch a YouTube channel, teach people about things like music theory, ear training, stuff like that, but also like make beats and collaborate with artists. That type of thing.
That's what's up. Chr0niac, are you from Boston?
Yeah, I'm in Boston.
Oh, you're in Boston. That's what's up. I grew up just north of Boston in Nashua, New Hampshire. So that's wild. I wasn't aware that you were in Boston. That's what's up.
Crazy. Like my friend, he has some up there. So I might have been up where you were in New Hampshire.
Hell yeah. Pro-Duce, what are 3 artists that you guys aspire to work with?
Probably Big Wild, maybe Golden Features, and
Odessa would be fire, Rufus.
yeah,
We're pretty big electronic guys, and a lot of people here are hip hop guys, but
yeah,
bringing our own little flair to it.
That's what's up. Absolutely. Chr0niac, what about you? What are 3 artists that you want to work with?
I would say Smino, Anderson .Paak. I'd really like to work with Kehlani. I like just released a song that was really inspired by hers. So those are probably my top 3.
Dope. Chr0niac, what is your favorite studio snack?
Man, that's a good question. Favorite studio snack, something that's not messy, because there's nothing I hate more than like collaborators in my room, because I have a home studio like in my apartment. So I'm trying to think what's not messy. Definitely not chips, because that gets in the mic recordings.
Facts.
I'll go with something like an ice cream bar, like, you know, it's cold, hopefully it's not too messy.
Wild. I wouldn't have thought that coming from New England with all the snow right now that you want an ice cream bar, but that's dope. That's what's up. Pro-Duce, what about you guys?
I don't know if you had it before, but Trader Joe's has these like frozen bananas that are like covered in chocolate, and they're super fire. Or like the place we have here doesn't have AC right now, so with all the electronics, it gets pretty hot. So nice little cool, refreshing things. So it's great for the studio.
Dope. That's what's up. Pro-Duce, as a duo, where do you guys see yourself in the next 5 years?
So definitely, we'd love to be producing for some bigger artists. We've been like working with progressively bigger artists. A lot of the kids we started with were like fresh out of college, really talented kids, but not like massive platforms. And so we'd love to be able to start producing for people with a little bit bigger of a platform. And so we have like that aspect of it. And then we also would really love to see our individual project, Mr. Sandman, take off a little bit. We've got a good amount of songs we've been working on over the past 6 months, and those are going to start coming out. And so we'd love to see some progress that way and some progress in the producer route as well.
How about you, Chr0niac?
At the moment, most of my income from music is coming from teaching, which is great. I'm super blessed. I'm hoping to have production take up a bigger part of that in the next 5 years. So whether that be from YouTube education or a beat store or just collaborating with artists and helping develop them as they develop me as a producer, just like, you know, getting more money that way as opposed to only teaching.
That's what's up. So let me ask you guys each a question. Like, if you could give some advice for a new or upcoming producer, what would you tell them?
I would say there's no way around putting in the work, I guess. Like, you're going to have to hear bad beats that your name is attached to. Hopefully no one else will have to hear them if you're smart and you know that, okay, this is not a keeper. I got to move on. That's something, you know, that I was coming to grips with today, like just working on these beats, even for the contest, you know, it's like, yeah, you're going to hear things that are bad, but the object or the whole point of the game isn't to get fixated on one project. It's to get in the flow of doing projects over and over. So just keep pushing through it and don't get so attached to what's right in front of your face.
Absolutely. Pro-Duce, what about you guys?
Yeah, I mean, just to bounce off Chr0niac, I definitely think work. I disagree with you. Like, we've been honestly putting in like maybe 80 hours a week for the past like 6 months straight. Like,
wow.
We really just started going out again, and like, because we just graduated college, so it was the first time, you know, we really had to focus on music, and you know, putting that work. Like, you definitely see gains, but you know, it's pretty grueling for sure. But in terms of another point to make, maybe just, I mean, definitely experimenting with your, you know, your tools you have versus just like using presets and stuff. Like, a lot of the tools, like, you know, you have access to are pretty, you know, powerful, but you know, it's definitely a difference between someone that can, you know, really, you know, reads the entire manual and knows how to really utilize that tool versus, you know, just someone clicking through presets, I think.
Yeah, I would say just like, I mean, along with all that, just never losing sight of just like the fun it is to make music. Because you can get like caught up in something, like something's not working, you can get like, beat yourself up about it. But like at the end of the day, like we're all doing this because we love it and it's super fun. So just always like remembering like why you're doing that and keeping that focus is really good.
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to take a minute right now. The chat has not heard these DJ Khalil samples yet. I want to show you guys the fire that he provided for this battle. So let's check out the first one. Pro-Duce and Chr0niac are going to be flipping this for Thursday. Let's go. This is the first one. Oh my God, I'm getting chills. Okay, that was the first one, and this is the second one. Woo! Chills right here. So you guys heard it right here. Let's go. So check it out. Both Pro-Duce and Chr0niac both absolutely annihilated Battles That Knock Round 1, Battles That Knock Round 2. Now they're about to go head to head this Thursday. They're working on these tracks right now. So how it's going to go down is they're going to flip both of those Khalil samples, and then they're going to both submit their hottest beat with no rules at all. The Khalil samples, it's going to be a mixture of drums that knock and these samples, and their hottest beat, there's absolutely no rules. They just have to submit whatever they choose to. And then they're going to go head to head, and we're going to play their tracks live on the stream. Myself, DJ Khalil are going to guest judge, and the chat, you guys are going to also guest judge. So guys, thank you so much for jumping on the stream today. I'm glad to just introduce you guys to the community. And I know that the community's appreciated the gems that you dropped today and just, you know, you guys' expertise. Chr0niac, where can everyone follow you?
Chr0niac with a 0. Follow me on Instagram. That's my update. Most of my stuff, like my newest single. So check it out.
Check out his newest single. Follow him on IG. Pro-Duce, where can the people follow you? Where can they hear your music? Anything you guys want to plug?
We're going to throw our Instagram in the chat. Our project, we go by Mr. Sandman. So Instagram is Mr. Sandman Music. Find us on SoundCloud too. The Spotify stuff will be coming soon.
That's my name. I'm Donovan.
That's what's up. Okay, dope.